Wow, they're beautiful and like little pieces of art. Amazing, amazing flavors in my kitchen. Pomegranate's gonna add lots and lots of color. Beautiful. And there we go, we're ready to eat. Eid Mubarak. Today, to celebrate, I'm gonna prepare an elegant and decadent dish that I promise will be a real hit in the Eid celebrations this year. We are gonna be cooking the Middle Eastern lamb and eggplant crumble. So follow me, let's get started. So I'm going to start by prepping these eggplants. I already have my oven heating 200 degrees. I'm going to give the eggplants a good rinse. So I'm going to cut them in half lengthwise. The cooking time of this recipe will completely depend on the size of your eggplant. So mine are quite nice and small. So I'm going to leave these ends just because they're beautiful. It will add to the presentation of the dish. I'm going to cut some crisscrosses. Again, this is to ease the cooking time. So I'm not going to cut all the way till the end, but I'm cutting through the nice soft flesh of the eggplant. Place them on a baking tray, skin side down, and then I'm going to start by putting in some olive oil, and then I'm going to rub them with salt as well. Rubbing in the salt so it goes into the pores of the eggplant inside, so that we have a nice flavor around the eggplant, but also the salt helps reduce a bit of the water and the sort of bitterness that the eggplant has. All right, and then we're ready. I'm gonna pop this in the oven for about 30-35 minutes. So while the eggplants are roasting in the oven, I'm gonna prep the vegetables. So I'm gonna start by peeling my shallots and then slicing them thinly. Next, we're gonna roughly chop the pine nuts. And the reason the pine nuts are so hard to come by sometimes and so expensive is that they take a long time to grow, and also they're very, very difficult to get out of their casing. They're such a delicacy and very important in celebrations in the Middle East. Next, I'm gonna go for the mint. I'm gonna give it a nice little rinse, and then I'm gonna remove the leaves from the stem. So this is quite easy to do, and maybe a nice activity for the little ones in the family to participate in cooking. And I'm gonna hold them in a nice little bundle without crushing the leaves too much. And I'm gonna try to make quite thin slices through the bundle of mint leaves. And we're gonna mince the garlic. So I'm gonna peel the garlic first, so you can use a garlic mincer. So next I'm going to show you how to de-seed your pomegranate at home. You cut it in half, take quite a deep bowl, hold your pomegranate quite firmly with the tip of your fingers, and then with a wooden spoon you start tapping. It's nearly empty, and that's it. That's how you de-seed your pomegranate. Next I'm going to make the tahini sauce. So the garlic is for the sauce, and then I'm going to pour in the tahini. The tahini is a hulled sesame paste, very typical in Middle Eastern cuisine. We're going to add in a bit of mayonnaise to add some nice thickness to this sauce, and then some natural yogurt, an ingredient that is very much used in Middle Eastern cuisine, always to balance flavors, to reduce sometimes the heat. These kinds of garlic yogurt sauces are very typical, particularly when paired with lamb. I'm going to break it all out with a little bit of white vinegar, and finally I'm going to season my sauce with a pinch of salt. Now we have the sauce as well ready. You could let it stand in the fridge or outside, depending on how much in advance you're preparing your feast. Next we're going to fry the lamb. So I've got some oil on my pan, and my pan is hot. I just wanted to show you that a good lamb mince should always be beautiful in color, quite red with a lot of the white fat pieces, and you need a bit of fat when frying lamb, mostly because it's going to add a lot of flavor and it's going to help your lamb to crisp nicely. Make my lamb nice and steady on the pan so that we can avoid steaming. So now the lamb is nice and browned. I'm going to add in the shallots. Then I'm going to add in ras el hanout. And ras el hanout is a typical Northern African spice mix. You'll have the sweetness of cinnamon and cloves and allspice, but watch out, there'll be as well a good pinch of cayenne pepper. Ras el hanout means top of the shelf. So it means that it is the fanciest spice you can find in your spice shop. I'm gonna add in chili flakes, just for that extra kick. And I'm gonna let the spices cook for a couple of minutes. Just a pinch of brown sugar and a little bit of soy sauce. Stir everything really well. amazing, amazing flavors in my kitchen. I'm gonna remove the pan from the heat and I'm gonna finish it off with the pine nuts. I'm mixing the nuts in and then we can see what's happening with the eggplants in the oven. They should be ready. Wow, they're beautiful and like little pieces of art. You could plate on a big serving platter, which would be really beautiful, or on individual plates. So now the importance of the stem is also playing a part because you can see that it's holding everything nicely together. And I'll top off with this beautiful minced lamb. It's nice and crispy, it's got some nice color, and most importantly, the smell and flavor with the Russell hanout and the pine nuts is gonna blow you away. The tahini dressing, if you wanted, you could add a splash of water to make it a little bit more watery, but we're gonna go with this. Then you've got the pomegranate. Pomegranate is gonna add, obviously, lots and lots of color. Beautiful. And then we're gonna top off with the mint leaves. And there we go, we're ready to eat. I'm wishing you wonderful Eid celebrations, and for more Middle Eastern flavored recipes, you can click here. But for now, صحتين. This is so good.